そう思うんなら本心をちゃんと伝えなって。へたれてても状況は変わんないよ。でももう嫌われちゃってるもん、きっと。今さら何言ってんだとか思われちゃうよ。ずぶ濡れだ。あまね先輩、あまねちゃん。いやー、君たち悪いが拭くものを持っていないか？小鳥先輩と仲直りしてください。姉さんが窒息する前にね。
It's not that easy. I was being impressed by the Kazoto sisters at the end of the dock. Sorry I made things so awkward, but they were telling me to make up with Katori, but it wasn't like we were fighting. What to do?
私嫌です。小鳥先輩と葵先輩が仲良くないなんて。ボタンを掛け違えたままにしてるような気持ち悪さがあるわね。前みたいに仲良くしましょうよ。ねえ先輩。
Atsu grabs my arm and shakes it like she was pleading. Katori and I gotten along well, almost too well. That's why I intruded on her family's business so bluntly, like I knew everything. I really hurt her. For instance, the time I tried to stop Katori from quitting school, I didn't hold anything back. I thought she hated me for it, to be honest. It felt like even she hated me for it. Oh, I felt that even if she hated me for it, if new possibilities occurred to her, it would be worth it. I was able to do that because we just met. But the issue recently was different. I got uncomfortable with our friendship and intruded into an area where she was uncomfortable with. I don't want to hear from you, Aoi. Honestly, that was a shock to hear. Remembering that makes my heart sink even now. Thanks to that, I wasn't sure how to talk to her. I felt a vague sense of distance. Of course I don't want to leave things like this. When Katori calms down a bit, I'll apologize to her again. There was something else I had to tell her. Okay, I promise. The problem is that I know Katori isn't asking for an apology. So, what should I do? The door opened and Agaha and the others returned to the dock. From the back.
Yeah.
Amane!
久しぶりだな、葵くん。
Amane entered in a usual carefree fashion. It was the first time in a while that she'd come here.
お、だいぶできたな。
She says this looking at the... God damn it, I cannot read word crap. She says this looking at the airframe, which is drawing close to completion. All we have to do are the paint job and the details.
それはいい。スケジュール的にも余裕がありそうだな。みんな、集まってくれ。
Saying things with deep meaning, Amane gathered everyone. Katori noticed me and awkwardly averted her glance. Amane began talking, not noticing the strange atmosphere.
顧問を引き受けたのに、あんまり顔を出せなくて申し訳ない。大人だからな、忙しいんだ。いえいえ、顧問をやってもらってるだけで十分ですよ。
Agaha ignores the bragging about being an adult and replies.
それでな、少しでも役に立てればと思ってこんなものを作ってきたんだ。
Amane begins to remove a large sheet of paper from a long thin tube.
うわ、濡れてる。隙間から水が入ってしまったぞ。何なんですか、それ。
Agaha asked, feeling rushed by somehow pitiful atmosphere.
これはな、小鳥へのプレゼントだ。私？
Katori is dazed, taken by surprise.
そこの事務所の PC でブックマークを見つけてな。それで書いてみたんだ。
Saying that, she opened the sheet. It looked like some kind of blueprint. But it was not a glider. For a moment, even Agaha didn't know what it was.
何ですかこれ。コックピットみたいですけど。 だからそこの PC にあっただろ。海外製のコックピットの。
Huh?
びっくりした。何よいきなり。
This is a cockpit for handicapped people. Katori, who raised her head after hearing my words, peered at the blueprint again.
先輩が見たのってドイツのグライダー製作会社のサイトですか？こないだ葵が見つけた。そうそう、輸入しようとするといろいろ面倒そうだろ。だったら自分たちで作ってしまえばいいんじゃないかと思ってな。最初からこうしてればよかったんだな。
Can't believe nobody thought of that.
話がよく見えないんだけど。これは君のための。
If you have this, you can fly! I cut off Amane and turned to Katori and spoke enthusiastically. You can fly the glider with your own hands! How about it? Aren't you thrilled? Katori had a blank look on her face. Seeing her expression, I remembered that we hadn't talked for several days. Then I realized I'd gotten a little too happy and felt embarrassed. But the happiness that bubbled up after that couldn't be controlled.
小鳥、もっと喜びだよ。あんたが自分で操縦できるってことだよ。そうなの？
Oh sure, that got through to you. Katori still didn't seem to understand. She was vaguely staring at the blueprint.
ラダーをペダルじゃなく手で操作できるようになってる。コックピットを改造する必要は出てくるが。このくらい大したことないですよ。葵くんが探してくれてたの？
Yeah. I thought you probably want to fly by yourself, so... But I never thought that Amane would draw up a blueprint. For a while, Katori stared in amazement not at the blueprint, but at me.
ありがとう、あまねちゃん。
Suddenly, Katori reversed the wheelchair.
小鳥先輩、ちょっとトイレ。
Saying that, she left the dock.
あんまり嬉しそうじゃなかったぞ。
I wondered if doing this was intruding too.
さあ、そんなことないんじゃない？なかった。嫌われてなかった。葵くんが私のために。よかった。よかった。
It was the day that the rain, which had stretched over several days, stopped. Oh god. The improved airframe was finally completed. Standing before this object they put their blood, sweat, and tears into, everyone was filled with emotion.
やったわね、小鳥。やった。
Standing a bit away from me, Katori's eyes were shining with a bit of happiness. Seeing that, Agaha winked and smiled at me secretly. I nodded back at her. There's still a bit of distance from Katori. However, the awkwardness from before is gone. It seems we were both waiting for a good time to make up.
さあさあ、ぼーっと眺めてる暇はないわよ。機体をばらしてトレーラーに積んで。はい。
Alright.
私も手伝うわ。
We take apart the assembled airframe and load it onto the trailer. Today, we would go to the runway and do a test. A test with our new model glider.
朝ちゃん、気をつけて。ぶつけちゃダメだよ。はい。
Today was Asa's first time doing assembly work on the glider's body. It's not difficult work, but mistakes can lead to large accidents. When people involved with gliders do assembly works by themselves like this, they begin to understand the composition and functions of the airframe.
ついに完成したのか。
Hey, Gio Anchan. Anchan says this while gazing at an improved glider being assembled. I got him to help with transporting the glider. I would imagine Anchan feels connected to this glider too.
正直お前たちがここまでやるとは思わなかったぞ。
Okay, fuck you, man. For that, I'm gonna keep calling you Tatsuya. It's thanks to your help, Tatsuya. He provided us cheap materials, searched for difficult to find parts, and sometimes helped with the building.
俺も見たかったんだ。こいつが飛ぶところ。今日は葵が操縦するのか？
Yeah. It's my first time in a while to fly here. Until today, I've been using my weekends and doing training at runways a distance away. I'm different than what I was a year ago.
あまねは来てないんだな。
She says she's busy because she's an adult. Even if she isn't here today, she'll have plenty of chance to see a test flight.
葵、コックピットお願い。ポジティブコントロールチェックするから。
Alright. I get into the cockpit and check the piloting system. The wings and tail assembly have been remade so it feels different from before.
オッケー。次は後部座席ね。
We carefully undertake various types of checks. Of course, Asa and the other newbies were nervous, but so were Akaha, Katori, and I. It is our first test flight in a long time.
じゃあ役割分担の確認だけど、まずパイロットは葵ね。で、ウィンチ操作が私で。え、私じゃないの？私がするの。で、アサちゃんが翼端を持って走ってね。はい、頑張ります。夜ちゃんは周囲の安全確認をお願い。分かったわ。私は？
Katori asked with insecurity in her voice. Without a word, Akaha winked at me. Your seat is over here, isn't it? I motioned the rear seat with my thumb. Katori looked around at everyone's faces. Until coming here, Katori had been assigned to the position of controlling the winch. However, no one is surprised that having been hurriedly changed. That's because there had been a meeting beforehand with everyone except Katori. Katori also realized that when she saw everyone's unnatural expressions. I made you a promise, right? I'll let you ride first. I made you wait quite a while, but... Katori had been looking at me vacantly as I blushed, but soon she blushed even more.
ダメよ、そんなの。だってこれ作るのに一番頑張ったのアゲハだもん。私なんかあんまり役に立ってなかったし。そんなことないよって言ってほしいわけ？甘えんなよ。
Gee.
朝だって乗りたいでしょ？それは乗ってみたいですけど。でも普通は先輩が優先なんじゃないでしょうか。夜は私は手伝ってるだけの部外者ですから。飛ぶのは一回こっきりじゃないんだよ。そうですよ。私小鳥先輩に最初に乗ってほしいです。あなたが部長なんでしょ？なら別にいいじゃない。
Katori glanced upwards at me nervously. As there had been some awkwardness in the past several days, I can't expect her to suddenly show happiness. Okay.
朝ちゃん、夜ちゃん、小鳥を後部座席に乗せるのを手伝って。はい。
Katori was lifted by the others and put into the rear seat of the glider.
シートベルト緩くない？大丈夫。
Don't touch the control stick. I spoke to Katori as I got to the front seat.
葵、これは改良型の初フライトなんだから、あんまり無茶な飛び方しちゃダメよ。
Of course I won't. Close the canopy.
はいよ。小鳥、いってらっしゃい。
The canopy was closed. Outside sound was blocked out by the clear dome. I felt a sense of nervousness coming from the rear seat. Outside, Akaha was running toward the winch. Yuri was inspecting surrounding conditions from a distance away, and Asa is checking the tow line. Finally, it's time for the improved glider's first flight. The wings we all made together will fly through the air. And the promise I made with Katori a year ago will be fulfilled. The air current is calm today. We won't be able to fly very high, but this is perfect for our first flight. But if you get scared, tell me. I'll land right away.
Aoi, 準備 OK?
I heard Agaha's voice through the radio. Are you alright, Katori?
いいよ。
We're okay. I answered Agaha and gave the signal to Asa. Asa walked around the side of the body and lifted the wing, which had been leaning on the ground.
Runway is clear.
The runway had been checked. Lift us up.
了解。行くよ。
Whoosh! The tow line was pulled and the glider began to move. It accelerated suddenly. Asa was running with her might, but soon let go of the wing. I pulled the control stick. The glider, which had been running over the weed-covered bumpy ground, gently lifted up. While the glider floated near the ground, it was pulled by the winch and picked up more speed. I'm going higher! I pulled the control stick back and aimed the nose upward. The airframe suddenly began to gain altitude. Whoa! While feeling the GS with my whole body, I gripped the control sticks so the glider wouldn't lose control. We got further from the ground and the sky spread out before the outside the canopy. I'm going to disconnect. As we got directly above the winch, I pulled the release lever. The hook was disconnected and the tow line was released from the underside of the airframe. And there we go. We were released from the force that had been pulling us back and the glider was thrown into the sky. I quickly turned to check the tow line's disconnection. I have confirmed the release.
了解。パラシュートが落ちてく。上から見るとこんな感じなんだ。
Katori, who has always been in charge of the winch, was looking at the small parachute from below. Takeoff successful. As I announced this, Katori looked at outside view from the rear seat.
すごい。本当に飛んでる。
Are you scared?
全然。
Guess the excitement must be blocking off her fear. I'm facing forward so I can't see, but I'm pretty sure that Katori's round eyes were sparkling. That was how her voice was. To check the feel of the new wings, first I slowly flew over the runway. It responds to the rudder more quickly than the old wings, but the feeling of gliding is smooth. As this is a test flight, I had to remember the sensation and report to Agaha later.
朝たちがあんなに小さく見える。で、撃ってもわかんないだろうな。葵、どんな感じ？
Right now it has a good feel. It's more sensitive than the old glider, but the gliding itself is smooth.
小鳥はどう？すっごく気持ちいいよ。よしよし。じゃあまあ頑張んなよ。お。
What does she have to do her best at? I have a grasp of the field, so I'll stretch out my legs a bit.
了解。くれぐれも無茶しないでね。
He just jumps out of the canopy. Shall we go back to that place?
あそこって？
Windmill Hill. Katori answered like she felt it was a good idea. I took the control stick to the side, stepped on the rotor pedal, and flew the glider toward the lake.
本当に飛んでる。どう、朝ちゃん。自分が作った翼が飛んでるのを見る気分は？なんだか不思議です。どうしてあんなものが飛べるんでしょう。不思議だよね。ちゃんと空中でバランスを保ちながら滑空してるんだもんね。どこかへ行くみたい。湖の方かしら。ここで飛ぶ時の定番コースだからね。
The glider crossed over the lake and drawn near the area above Windmill Hill.
いい眺め。この湖ってこんなに大きかったんだ。
We were at the edge of the north side of the lake. Oh my god, that's pretty good. The lake is long and thin vertically, but in particular, this portion of it is narrow, almost like a river. Thanks to that, crossing over the glider is simple. I slowly flew the glider over the peak of Windmill Hill. There was a bit of warm air current. I like the view here most of all.
いいね。立ち並ぶ風車が綺麗。街も見渡せるし。あれ、私たちの秘密基地かな。
I saw the docks around roof in the area that Katori was looking. It's a rather large building, but looks small from here. Do you remember it? The day that we first met?
もちろんよ。
Right. Over in that area, your wheelchair had gotten a flat tire.
そこに葵くんが来て修理してくれたのよね。
And then the glider that Amane was piloting came flying in. Had even one of these coincidences not happened, we may not have been enjoying our time together in the sky.
上から見るとこんな風なのね。
Katori looked down through the canopy and spoke with emotion. I flew around the area slowly, just as Amane had done at that time.
葵くん、
Katori called my name nervously from the back.
ありがとう。 コックピットのこと。
Oh. She was talking about the blueprint that Amane had drawn for us. But I didn't do anything. I just learned that there were cockpits for people with handicaps, and I collected information. Amane had found it by chance and drawn a blueprint for us. It's not like I asked for it. If you want to thank someone, tell Amane.
私のことなのに自分のことみたいに喜んでくれたでしょ。嬉しかったの。
Oh. Yeah. I felt a little embarrassed to be told that. At the time, I hadn't dreamed that Amane would prepare something like that for us. So in my surprise, I got too excited. I had gotten too happy, so Katori, who should have been happy, felt confused.
それに探してくれてたんでしょ。そういうコックピットを。
I just found it on the net by chance and thought, if we had this, Katori could fly by herself.
ありがとう。
I didn't do anything worth being thanked.